didn't get around to this part of the video because there was risk of my surprise getting spoiled, and so I waited till after Christmas here to reveal this part of the build. We have been building this waste oil burning water heater for the past 4 episodes, but what I didn't really allude to was what it was to be used for, and so this is what we're going to be doing. We have got a 300-gallon stock tank that will become a soaker tub. Today's mission is to get this set up, get the burner running, and do a shakedown run to see how well it's going to heat. We're not going to fill it up all the way. We'll probably put about 250 gallons in here and see how well it does. We have ignition and liftoff of our waste oil burning soaker tub. So far it's running pretty good. I had a little issue getting the pump primed. I lit the burner prematurely, so it got hot really quick, and it wasn't circulating water in there, so that took a little bit of fudging around, but fortunately the lockout shut the burner down right away, so that was a nice feature to have. It definitely saved my bacon, and so far everything's running well. We've got about half the water in there, and we'll continue to fill up to that rim and see how long this takes to get up to a comfortable temperature. Well, I added a little bit of foam to the top of the tank just to try and capture some of that heat so we don't lose it so quickly. It's about minus 10 Celsius out here, and so that would contribute a little bit to energy losses. Overall, the system is running just beautifully. We are looking at a temperature rise of, it's going from about 10 degrees in the tank right now, and the top of the water heater is 26 degrees, so we're doing pretty good. It's running really smoothly, no issues so far, and of course one of the really nice features is that nice clean exhaust. I just switched over to the engine oil now, and I just had to dial back the feed rate by about half a second, and it's running a little bit more vigorously now. I could just tell by the sound of the unit as it's burning, and we are at 812, 830 now on the front door, so it picked up about 100 degrees by switching fuel types. So we will run the motor oil for a while and see how this does. This is the 2-hour and 15-minute update, so we've been going for a good chunk of time. The water in the tub now has gone up by 10 degrees. We started at 8, we are now at 18. That's working out really nicely. So far, no issues whatsoever. I would say we've burned probably about 5 liters of oil so far. The temperature in the water heater is 34 degrees. Obviously there is that temperature rise that is occurring between the tank and the water heater. So I guess one of my revelations is that just controlling the temperature of the actual tub with the water heater thermometer probably isn't the best. Probably be prudent to add some other temperature sensor into the tank as well, or maybe even just to the intake line. That would probably be sufficient, just to be able to get a little bit more accurate read of the tank temperature, and then we could have a real set point that we're going to try and shut off at by using the water heater set point. That's going to be probably a little bit too much overshoot, although if it's consistent spread across the inlet and the outlet temperature, it might not be so bad. But we'll see. It's been about 15 minutes since the last video. We've been running for 2.5 hours now. I increased the feed rate of the oil. I found that the combustion temperature had trailed off below 600. It was about 550. And it was just because there wasn't enough fuel going in there to get a good vigorous burn. I ramped it up. I went a little too much, and so there's a ton of smoke here, so I dialed it back. So we're probably sitting at about 4.5 seconds of oil feed, which is hopefully where it'll stop smoking and keep up. It's back up to about 800 on the front of the door there, so that's much better than the 550, and temperature started climbing a little bit faster again. We are at 25 degrees Celsius in the tank now. The water heater is sitting at 45, so it's about a 20 degree spread between the top sensor there and the actual soaking tank. So that's where I was saying that it would be a little bit better to have an actual sensor either in the intake or somewhere that will get a more accurate reading of the tank temperature. It's being a little bit smokier than I like around the actual burner. I'm not sure where that's coming from or why it's doing that. I suspect that there's a little bit of oil that's kind of leaking out through the bottom there where the oil goes into the burner pot. It's probably leaking right down the side where that top vent tube fits in, so that might take a little bit of fine tuning, or maybe just being able to direct that feed tube a little bit more downward into the burn pot rather than like it's shooting across to the other side, which isn't as favorable. But yeah, a minor adjustment I think will have that working just nicely. So anyway, we have reached the 4-hour mark for this setup running. The tank temperature now is 26 Celsius. The temperature inside of the water heater is still at 43, which is interesting. I was able to reduce the smoke. What was happening is the pump is so powerful, it was shooting oil across the burner pan gap, and it was dripping down the inside of the air intake and creating a bunch of smoke. So what I did is, rather than having it shooting straight across, I have it kind of on a tangent now, so it's not spilling oil. You can actually even see there's a bit of a pool underneath. That's why I had the cardboard there, just in case there would be some spillage. But got that sorted out. We have reached the 5-hour mark. Our temperature in the water jacket is 50 degrees now, which is pretty good. I have it set for 55. So when this goes up by 5 degrees, the tub temperature should be about 37. So right now it was 33. And so yeah, 37, 38 should be where the oil burner kicks over to idle, and it should be a good temperature. A little modification I did for the idle setting is when I switch over from run idle, when it's in run, the increment decrement buttons control the amount of time that the pump is running to feed oil. When it's in idle, it actually increments or decrements the period, so it'll do a fixed amount, 3 seconds every, and you could do up to a minute or 2 minutes or down to 10 seconds or whatever. But you can adjust the period for the cycle rather than the runtime. So it's all conditional as to whether it's running or idling as to what these two buttons will actually affect. Time! 6 hours, 58 minutes. We got the water heater temperature up to 56 degrees, which corresponds to a delightful soaking temperature of 38 degrees. I don't have much else to say right now. The unit is in idle mode, so it'll just feed a little bit of oil every 30 seconds or so. But what I am going to do is switch over to the electric mode, because I'm kind of done babysitting the oil for right now, and I think it's time to go for a soak. Well, we've got the waste oil burner and our soaking tub out at the lake now, and I'm cheating a little bit. I did fill the tub up with hot water from the water heater in the cottage, and I'm also using the electric heat in addition to the oil heater. So I'm just trying to get this 250 gallons of water up to temperature as fast as possible, and this is the way to do it. Thing with 4 inches of foam on top holds its temperature really well, even with the sides being exposed. The foam on the top and the bottom makes a big difference. So we left it last night, it was 38, and 24 hours later it was 36, so that's pretty darn good. Anyway, I got the waste oil burner running again. I did have one issue where, and I anticipated this happening, is the tube that runs through the actual pump just wore out. It's seen a lot of cycles on it, so I would say every 2 to 3 burns it needs to get replaced, but that's no big deal. I have a couple extra pieces of that kicking around, so one 4-foot length. If you need 6 inches, that'll give you a good, 8 or so little offcuts out of that, and yeah, here we are. Well, the holidays are over and we are back home. I brought the soaking tub and the water heater back with me. It did get a little rusty just because the paint has come off of it, but otherwise it's done really well. I've been quite pleased with it. Having said that, I am looking forward to version 2.0. I have plans for that well underway now. I'm starting to gather materials and come up with a plan for that. So as we move forward into the new year, we will be starting off that build. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed the waste oil burning water heater version 1.0, and look forward to getting the second version out to you. And if you've enjoyed this, be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Thanks for watching.